Well, we've all welcomed you 1,000 times, so I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to tell you is that for about the last week, Andrea has been begging me for my speech to put in this binder. Just saying. And I said, oh, I'll bring it with me tonight. And she was like, well, you might forget it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to forget it. So when I got here, she was like, do you have your speech? And I'm like, I do. I've got it in my spirit. So y'all bear with me because it's been a really interesting year of change, and from our NAR lawsuit to internal association changes. The only thing I'm going to read to you because I don't want to jack up the quote. Winston Churchill is quoted to say, "To improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often." And sometimes that's hard because we want to do what we've always done in the past. But this year, due to staffing changes, we started the year literally without an association executive. And we're realtors. We don't do association work. However, I want to thank tonight our executive committee, because when that staffing change happened pretty abruptly, we rallied together and we ran the board office protecting your member rights for about 60 days. And trust me, it took all 5 of us. So it's a very important position. And it's not hard to find someone very quickly that has a skill set. But I want to tonight thank our past president and our personnel chairman, Todd Yeager, for jumping in, pulling the committee together that handles personnel, and helping identify candidates. And he did that with ease, like a professional. Due to that, we were able to take the candidates before the board of directors, and they were able to choose, based on qualifications, Andrea Braun. Andrea came to us from another occupation. She worked with children. We told her that would be perfect. And literally it has been, because she has had the temperament to take everything in stride. Number one, first and foremost, she is eager to learn. She may not know it all, but she doesn't mind telling someone, I don't know, but I will get you the answer. Now, we all know as realtors how patient we are, right? None of us are called Job for a reason. Time is of the essence in our business. She took that in stride every single time. She loved on everybody that came in and needed help. That was our biggest hurdle. And she's really, I'm so thankful, she's agreed to sign on with us for 2025. So, the success of our association is our leadership and working with our AE. It's a one and done partnership. I am super excited tonight to tell you exactly from the heart how the year played out. I am so proud of our board of directors. We had some significant milestones for the association and changes. Personnel change. We changed the central law. Well, we all know how we love to change our systems, right? Nobody wants to change anything. But we did that, and we have been slowly integrating in order to do a couple of things. It increases our ability to network with other people in other communities, other realtors. The majority of our state is on Centra. So it gives you and your customer better access. Secondly, it provides a level of safety for our realtors and our sellers and buyers. The next big change we had was the NAR settlement. We all know the words of that, right? Gotta tell a buyer, hey, you don't know me, you don't trust me, but you gotta sign this piece of paper and you're gonna pay me. That's per Hannah Lewis. She told me that story tonight. She said, you know how hard that is, and it is hard. But we've all championed that because with our industry, we're fluid and changes happen often. So our association, through education and through support of staffing, we were able to understand what the lawsuit meant and implement the changes so we can all keep a license. Regardless of the memes we see that says, when you don't get the buyer broker agreement signed, this happens to you. I just can't even express the hard conversations that have to be had when change comes along. When you're in a room of people and you all have different opinions, but the number one thing that I tried at my best as the leader and the implementer was to tell people we have policies, we have bylaws. Let's go to those. How many of us have a contract and a seller to buyer wants to get you in the drama because they want something after they've signed the deal? So we really worked over our documents this year. We, like every other association, we had areas that were not consistent between the two realms. But with your help, and really with the help of a great policy and procedure chairman, Paul Pearson, I'll acknowledge him in the back, he and his committee, I can't tell you how many hours they go in a room and they'd stay all day. It's that daunting. And they brought forth to the board of directors, and additional discussion was had over how to clean up some of our areas of concern. They worked with someone that was certified in that, had that approved, and brought it to our membership, and man, our membership showed up and we got the quorum to pass those. Is it a one and done? It's never a one and done. Like I said, change is to perfect. That is a big feat, but not only did they do that, they started on policy and procedure before the end of this year, and they are in process working with our state level leaders to straighten and correct and concisely marry those documents. So as I sit here and I tell you, we had 5 luncheons. Well, we all went to the luncheons, and if you didn't, you got invited. So we know those things. I just want to press upon you that some years we get to do the smoke and mirrors and the glamour of the stuff. We don't have to go muck the stalls or pull the electrical or fix the plumbing. But this year was about taking previous leadership's strategic planning, compliments of our previous president, Asha Stevenson, building on that and going back. She gave us the foundation, we put in the infrastructure. And the one thing that I'll say is, I'm 100% confident standing here today that our 2025 president, Lisa Riggle, is now going to take over. The transition of power is happening, and she's going to come in and she's going to continue to batten down our governing documents so all of your interests are taken care of, because we serve our members, first and foremost. You are our responsibility. As she comes into power, she will carry on. The last thing I want to do is I want to thank and acknowledge our OAR leadership. OAR had big changes this year, just like the rest of us, in bylaws and such, completing a building, taking over what they were handed. I want to acknowledge our new CEO, Hutch. He has been instrumental in coming forward and doing the cleanup it needs to get it to the next level of change. And his assistant and co-server, which is Renee. She's our OAR president. They are instrumental. They're at our fingertips, and that is so valuable to us. And I want to thank them for their service. I'm going to leave you tonight with just telling you it's been an honor. When I first stepped into the role and volunteer position at SOBR, Asha called me and I said, "Good luck with that, Asha," when she said, "Can we nominate you?" And she called me back and said, "You're in." And then she said, "I'm pregnant." And I said, "Oh my, I'm not sure which is worse." I think she'll probably remember that conversation. About got in my 3rd year, and mid-year my husband decided he was going to go to Santa Fe and do art, and I needed to come with him. And I said, "Well, that's fine, but I'm still running a business here." And he said, "Well, we'll do some commuting." And so we went out and bought our dream ranch, stayed on board because he and Paul Pearson convinced me that I was not a quitter. I brag about it all the time. They said, you can't resign, you're not a quitter. I had a few members tell me they would buy me plane tickets back and forth, and I said, I don't think that's permitted. But bottom line is, Joel would want me to finish this, and so that's what I did. Next year, I'll be honored to serve as your past president and work with Andrea with fine-tuning the personnel committee work with the personnel committee that we have. Once again, it's an honor, and I'm going to turn it over to OAR. Renee, I think you're up.
No.
Oh, Hutch is up. I'm sorry. Hutch is up.